Is it really?
For auto draft. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Like
that.
they actually increase it just because of the likelihood based off your demographics and your background.
Well,
that's QXC.
Like that's QXC in StarCraft. He's North American. He's
Caucasian, and he plays Terran. Oh, the odds are not in his favor.
Hey, man. We're just listing the stats. We're not saying it's true.
No,
we're just
not by all means.
This is what happens.
I would love to see QXC go 4-4 in NASL in Season 4. He just turns it around, beats Stephano, and beats like a bunch of other Korean players. But QXC, Gandrid, he's had some of the toughest opponents. He had MMA, and he's played Finale. It's just I want to see QXC to succeed again. But he has a tall order. Stephano is just a monster.
I definitely agree, and there it is. Good luck, have fun, Kevin. With a Kevin. No, Kevin.
He's got an accent on the
Kevin.
E.
It's Kevin.
In Chinese, if you have like a little
that.
accent on it, it's like the intonation of it.
Oh. Whoa.
Did you do a music note?
Yeah.
Wait, how'd you do that?
The Kevin or the music note?
Yeah, the E. Oh, the music note too.
Alt 1-3.
Alt 1-3. Wow.
Alt 1.
That changes
Alt
it.
0.
Dude,
no,
that is how I'm going to say GG. I'm going to type GG and put a note in front of it like I'm singing GG. I'm going to do like a GG and a little tilde afterwards.
That's how you're going to do
That's going to be awesome. GG and then dance my units. Because so many people cheese me on Hearthstone Ladder, man, and after I beat them, I feel so good and vindicated. Every time, man.
No, what you should do is when you beat the rush or whatever happens, you should just say GG, and that's your offensive GG instead. And then you go into the game, it's like GG, and you're singing it, and they know you're singing it now, Frodan.
Yeah, guys, welcome to Ohana, where we're going to see the first sight of these two players. In the top left corner from Team Evil Genius's Raid Call, it is Stephano, who is extremely successful in StarCraft 2. I talked to Kevin a little bit, Kevin being Kevin Vanderkoy, also known as Rotterdam, not necessarily Kevin Riley, QXC. He was saying that Stephano wasn't anything special in Warcraft 3, and it just blows his mind how successful he is, and it just shows you, again, different games. And to be fair on the converse, Grubby was incredibly dominant, and Todd was at one point the best Warcraft 3 player in the world. And those guys have mild success, maybe even some pretty good success, but nowhere near the level of success that Stephano. So it's a different game, different time, and Stephano is far and away #1 outside of Korea.
Definitely. And just looking at the stats that I'm taking from Ben's balance sheet yet again, TVZ is not looking good. We have a 42% win rate right now for Terrans in this matchup. And on Ohana, we have just about 3-1, so 25% win rate for Terrans on this map. Means out of every 4 games, 3 of them go to Zerg.
You want to talk about bad odds, Andre?
Yeah,
91% of the people voted for Stephano.
Oh my gosh. This is like, you hit the nail on the head, Frodan, when you mentioned insurance policies and being an Asian woman. I mean, this is exactly the same type of theory that we've had all game long.
Even
Ohana,
I mean,
North American Terrans.
This is tough.
And TVZ and NASL. I gotta be very careful with that.
QXC also has less than 9% of everyone voting for him in terms of favorites. 6,000 points are on the line for this match in terms of betting. Guys, remember, at the very end of the night, we give away 3 Heart of the Swarm beta keys to the top 3 people who have the most points using our chat.
So this is like Jeopardy right now. If you don't bet enough, someone can overtake you.
Yeah, but then what if you bet like conservatively so that you let people mess up? Because what if they bet a lot on MMA? What if QXC is every night, and since 2 nights ago, we've had a crazy upset where lots of points lost. It was lowly against Hero, Sheth versus MC. Can it be QXC versus Stephano?
Huangsin versus Tasia had 0% for Huangsin. 0%.
No one voted on Huangsin?
No one voted on Huangsin, and he won. A lot of Puntos were taking
turned
that
upside down, man.
Game. Yeah, man. Yeah, even Huangsin said he wouldn't have bet on him. He's like, I'm going to give it to Tasia.
Huangsin, before the game started, was like, man, Huangsin's awesome. Can't wait. Or Tasia's awesome. Can't wait to play him. bet all in on Tasia. And then he plays Tasia and beats
And
him.
he's like, and then he would say, guess who's getting the hardest Swarm beta key right now?
He like bets against himself.
Yeah.
That'd be disgusting.
It's like auto win. He puts in all in. Anyway, let's go talk about this game.
Standard opening from QXC. Hellion Banshee. Pretty good on Ohana just because the Banshee can kind of hug lots of cool ledges, especially by the Zerg third.
That's right.
QXC starting a very fast third command center in the open, Andre, instead of in his base. While Stephano doing a little bit more of his usual 2 base, get out his early upgrades in terms of double Evo Chamber before going to third base, although he's going for a really quick layer before the third hatchery.
It's interesting. So it looks like we'll probably have some sort of, you know what? Now that I say it, it's 8 minutes in. I thought we were going to have Spire Tech, but maybe not here. I'd actually be quite surprised if there were Spire Tech coming up. Yeah, what am I talking about? 1-1 is being upgraded.
Is
crazy,
Stephano going to go for a 2-2 timing with roaches?
I don't think so.
This
is just to defend?
I saw this build once from Stephano, where he would like not necessarily all in, but he'd like go for huge pressure, like with a lot of roaches with speed, and attack with lots of 2-2 Zerglings, and like it completely crushed a Terran last season. I can't remember exactly, but it was just like so one-sided. But Stephano has that kind of capability, though.
Yes, he does. He does. He's been known to actually all in a ton in TVZ. I've seen him do Roach Zergling Baneling all-ins all the time. But I think the Roaches are just to say, okay, well, I don't want to have my Zerglings completely useless in the early game stage. Let me go ahead and invest in some Roaches, and then I'll go ahead and just stabilize my third base from there. But look at how much damage is being dumped just by this one Banshee. Now, QXC might have to lift up his third base. This is a little bit of a problem, but still, I feel like these Roaches are a hefty investment. And against a lot of different builds, I feel like this doesn't make a lot of sense. But Stephano is Super Saiyan human.
Wow, he's already gotten all the way in. In fact, the Hellions have not really been able to do anything.
Yeah.
Stephano now starting to work on some of the SCV count, and just like we were saying, pressuring, working his way to 2-2. More Zerglings are streaming in as well. And all of a sudden, the SCV count is starting to thin out pretty significantly, although QXC does have triple orbitals that will help significantly.
And this is a 1-1 timing, Frodan, so you're almost right. A lot more right than me, for sure. And you can see this Roach Zergling timing. I guess it's to actually punish builds like this that rely too much on Hellions and Banshees, and you get enough Roaches out to the point where it's like, okay, your Banshees still need to work a lot on these Roaches if they want to actually limit them. And holy Jesus.
Pre-11-minute hive started. Wow.
Oh my god. This build, I've only seen it by one person, and it's actually LZ Gamer. He was telling me about a hive build probably season 2 of NASL.
Yeah?
Yeah. And he says he gets super fast ultras out, and you get that chitinous plating out, and basically you have these units that can never be killed in the beginning stages until upgrades are gotten.
Well, yeah, I mean, now that Stephano knows that QXC does intend on going from mech, and it is a pretty strong Korean Terran mech where you go for the double army upgrades and go for Hellion Thor. Stephano now is, wow, he's still making roaches after, I mean, I think Stephano is really just going to continue putting on lots of pressure to his opponent while he gets ready for hive tech. I figured he'd be pulling a little bit of his gas, but he's using all of it.
The interesting, I don't know what we're going to see. There is a small little timing window where QXC can actually push out with Thors and Hellions and just go 2-base all in, or I guess 3-base all in at this point, but he's on 2-base economy as we speak, 70 to 55, so definitely on 2-base economy, barely getting his third base really operational. There are infestors out in the field, but they don't have, oh no, fungal growths, but they don't have neural parasite. That's a bit of a problem. Ultraless Cavern is on the way. That'll help out, but the Banshees are critically dying. Oh no.
The Banshees are there to kind of control the infestors, weaken the roaches so that they're very soft, and just generally, you know, be a nuisance, control the map.
Yep.
But Stephano's dealt with it beautifully. +3, as well as adrenal glands, and all kinds of upgrades have started already for Stephano. This is just, this is really, really interesting because You don't usually see that fast rushes. You used to see pretty fast, like 12-minute hogs, but to get it before 11 minutes is still super quick. Now Stephano dealing with a little bit of harass, but for the most part, QXC is just really intent on taking expansions slowly, building up his tank count. Now switching over to siege tanks and getting his 2-2. Now, it's funny because normally when you set up the 2-2, you're trying to hit like the timing where Hive's just finishing, and then, you know, like when they're trying to either transition to Broodlords or basically squeeze out their Hive tech upgrades. But Stephano's got it so early that I feel like QXC, if he moves out for it,
Brian,
would
most people actually are starting to think about scanning the main base to check for Hive timings.
Yeah.
Right now. They don't expect Hive units to already be out. That is
it's
so scary. And on top of that, Stephano's already sold it like it isn't some sort of Hive tech. Like,
got a lot of roaches.
Yeah, so many roaches, so many zerglings. Like, how does he sell a non-Hive timing, staying on 2 base for so long, and then teching that fast? It's insane. This guy is superhuman, man.
Very clever. Spreading his creep as well to really deny information and control map. And if you think about it, in the grand scheme of things, this Roach Link pack is so small. Then QXC scans is like, okay, wait, that's all you have, and something has to be kind of fishy, because there should be way more infestors. There's got to be more something. And +3/+3 is about to finish for Stephano, so things are looking very good. First Ultras are popping, and they will have the Carapace as well, the chitinous plating.
That's right.
So these Ultras are super duper strong. I can't even begin to like comprehend how strong they are relative to the timing.
Really powerful against Thors, but Thors are also powerful against them. It's going to be a very tough job. But no, losing these Hellions. This is the #1 problem I see most Terrans doing, Korean and foreigners alike. They throw away Hellions so easily, and you need those against infested Terrans and Zerglings.
Well, how would he know, man? This is it's such a different situation.
No.
The Ultras are getting into prime position. QXC is trapped, and now the Roaches are committed. Thors can't really move back to kind of shuffle and shoot into position, and Stephano is going to be able to crush a huge portion of this mech army, if not all of it. In fact, yes, he will be able to get all of it. The Ultras does barely live, but the Banshees do manage to snipe it out, and that means the 3rd base is free for Stephano to pick. That means the 4th base is no longer secure either, and QXC has lost so much he has to reset his mech army completely.
That's right. Oh man, so unfortunate for QXC. He's just being completely overrun. What can he do against these Zerglings? You can see, I mean, they're just doing so much damage. Even the Roaches are doing so much damage. The fact of the matter is there's too many numbers. And when you only have siege tanks and Thors, you have nothing to really combat all of this. QXC is being absolutely overrun. This is how Zerg is supposed to look like. And guys, if you bet on Stephano, you made a good bet, man.
91% of people said game #1 would go to Stephano. GG gets called, and it's just kind of tough to say because I feel like QXC didn't necessarily do anything wrong with his build or his strategy or his thought process. QXC's a smart player. It's just that Stephano played so against the metagame that he just completely got 3-4 steps ahead of his opponent.
Did a 1-1 timing that really only punishes greedy play. If there's a wall there, the game's not over, but the Roaches aren't going to do nearly as much damage.
Really behind.
If it's Marines and Marauders behind there as well, you're pretty much dead. So he's going against the grain with mech. He's saying, okay, well, I'm going to assume you go mech. We know QXC likes to go mech in these TVZ situations. And there's a period where you rely so heavily on Hellion Banshee that you have a big opening for a Zergling Roach 1-1 timing. And that's exactly what he hit. Nicely done by Stephano.
Stephano takes game #1, and thanks so much to Epson, the sponsor of that game. Epson's #1 projector brand worldwide. Check them out at epson.com. When we come back, another Stephano versus QXC match. Can QXC defy the odds? 9% to 91%, 10-1.
Oh, God.
Bet on QXC. We'll be back after this.